Hi everyone, welcome back, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Zaria. I just wanted to make this video today because it is August and classes are about to start, and something in me just wanted to make a video for people who are about to either get their bachelor's or get their master's within classical voice, especially as a Black woman in this industry. I can tell you these past couple of years it has been hard. It's been a good journey, but it definitely can feel very lonely at times. So I wanted to record this video to let you all know that you are not alone and you can lean on me, we can lean on each other for support, especially within this industry. Now, I just want to share 10 tips or just 10 things that I wish I knew getting my bachelor's in classical voice. I really do hope that this helps you all, regardless if you are a person of color or not, but this is specifically made for people of color, especially Black women. Oh, also, by the way, if my voice sounds weird, it's because I have COVID for the second time in literally 2 months, and I'm doing fine. I'm just congested and I have a lot of mucus, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. So my first tip, and I'm gonna be looking down at my phone because I have all of my tips on my phone. Yes, so my first tip is that people will say things to knock your confidence, but don't let that shake you. And I feel that this is very important because, especially in this industry, it's very subjective, and one person can say, oh, you have a beautiful voice, or the next person can say it's just like, oh, I don't care for your voice. So don't let things that people say to you shake you. And just to share some of my experience back in undergrad, I was a part of opera workshop and I was in a scene, and literally the night before our opening night for our opera scenes performance, our director sat us down and they basically made a comment stating that the scene that I was in was just a fluff piece. When I tell you, once that came out of his mouth, I did not know how to feel. Nobody reacted to what he said. The person that was in my scene, like, we talked about it later and it upset us a lot, but after that was said, I feel like I kind of took that with me even after opera scenes, and I just felt like I wasn't good enough, that I was only good enough for fluff pieces. And if something like that ever happens to you, don't let that shake your confidence. Don't ever have that mentality, because that means you let them win. Now, to kind of piggyback off of that tip, my next tip is stop trying to prove yourself to people within your program. And when I say this, I know for me, I sometimes feel like I need to prove myself, like I deserve to be here. No, sweetie, like, you made the auditions, you got into the school, and you already proved yourself enough. You made it into the program. Now all you need to do is do your best. You need to learn, you need to grow as not only a singer, but as an artist, and just enjoy the experience. Especially as a Black woman, we feel that we need to work 10 times as harder just to get somewhere, just to even make it an inch to the top. And I just don't want you to have that mindset, because it's physically draining, mentally draining, and I've had many mental breakdowns because of having this mentality. Okay, and this kind of piggybacks off of the tip that I just shared. So the next tip is your only competition is yourself. When we're in programs, especially in like conservatory programs or just programs that are very well acclaimed, we feel that we need to be in competition with everybody around us. I can say that I've gotten better with this mentality, but you are going to be in competition with everybody. As soon as you get that degree and you're out there doing auditions and you're trying to make it in the real adult world, You are going to be in competition 24/7. So why put yourself through that type of mindset while you're getting a degree and you're supposed to be learning and growing and educating yourself? Stop looking at other people. Let's say you're singing for Forum. You are in competition with yourself. You is not competing with Becky or Susie, none of them. You are trying to be better than you were the day before. Point blank, period. Next tip is sing what makes you feel confident and happy. And I say this because the repertoire that you sing, it does affect how you feel about your voice and how confident you feel on stage. Now, especially in your bachelor's degree and you first get there, you're a freshman, you know, are learning so much, definitely heed the advice of your voice teacher, because first off, you're paying to get their help and you should listen to them. But when I say choose rep that makes you happy, I'm mostly saying this as you're getting into like your junior and senior year. You've been doing this for a year or two, and now you kind of have a good sense of where your voice is at right now. You kind of have a sense of different repertoires out there. So I definitely suggest that you should be working with your voice teacher in choosing repertoire that works for you. At the end of the day, your voice teacher should always have the last say, because they're the professionals and they should want to help you grow and become a better artist. Next tip, which is very important, especially I know for me, was having a great support system, whether it be family, people in your program, or even social media. You know, even though like I'm in my master's now and I'm surrounded by amazing people, amazing peers that I can say will be my friends for life, at times being a person of color within a program, it can feel very lonely, because you feel like there's certain things that others can't relate, because they just can't. Point blank, period. They just can't. So you kind of feel trapped because you don't know who to talk to, you don't know who to turn to, especially if you're probably one of the only person of color or black person within your program. So I would definitely say leaning on your friends and family that you already have is so important, even though they may not understand what you're going through because they're not getting a degree in classical voice. They can at least sit and listen to you and help you validate your feelings, because that is so important. Holding it in is the worst, and I'm speaking from experience. Do not hold in those feelings, because that will bring your confidence level down and that will make you want to just quit, just wrap it up. That's it. Like, I'm done with this degree. And then also social media has helped me. I think it was my senior year, my junior year, I came across this Instagram page called Black Women in Opera. And I was able to connect with the women and the men within the community. And it has helped me so much to see that even though that there is a very small percentage of us within this field, that we are here, we are in this industry, we are making moves. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna post the Instagram page and some other Instagram pages that I found for people of color in the description, so you guys can check it out there. It definitely gives you inspiration, and it just reminds you that you are not alone in this industry. Next tip is you need to advocate for yourself. And when I say this, an example could be if you're in choir and you're a soprano, but the director's just like, can you sing alto? We need a little more altos. And especially for my black women, because I've seen it where I know that some black women are sopranos, but they got them singing in alto, singing alto 1, even alto 2. And I'm just like, but I thought, you know, they're a soprano. Some choir directors do that, so be on the lookout for stuff like that and just advocate for yourself and be like, look, I understand, but I'm a soprano and I am not trying to harm my voice trying to sing lower than what my voice feels comfortable with. So you need to speak up for yourself. Even in your voice lessons, if your teacher is having you try something new and it's not working for you, let them know like, hey, this doesn't work for me, and it's their job to find other ways to get their point across to help you understand. So you always need to advocate and speak up for yourself. All right, and my next tip, which I feel is very important, is to continue taking lessons during summer break, whether it be with your current teacher or with another teacher. Now, when I say with another teacher, definitely be very cautious, because you want a teacher that's going to kind of pick up where you left off with your current teacher at your school. You don't want them to try and throw new things that's like out of the box, that's not on par with what you've been learning. So, you know, make sure and just be smart about teachers that you choose to work with while you're on summer break, because you just want to make sure that they just pick up from where you left off and just give you a different perspective, because that's the whole goal, getting different perspectives on how to work on your technique, work on your artistry. Next tip, I cannot stress this enough, practice in front of a mirror. My undergrad voice teacher, he's literally instilled that in me. Every time we would have our voice lessons, I would be singing in front of a mirror, having to look at myself. Now, at first, it can be very awkward just having to look at yourself, but looking at yourself in a mirror, it's going to tell you the truth. If you're singing like this and you don't know it, once you look in the mirror, you're going to see that your shoulder is up here and you need to level it out. So that is very important. So the next tip is that the more that you perform on stage, the easier it gets and the less scary it feels. Now, I know for me, during COVID and everyone having to quarantine and live performances had to stop, I would say that messed me up a lot, because once I started my master's program and having to sing in front of people again, when I tell y'all, like, I was having bubble guts. Like, I was just very, very nervous compared to how nervous I would get before the pandemic. Trying to perform as much as you can, so it's just like clockwork and you don't get as nervous. Like, you will get nervous regardless, but you won't get as nervous, and the nerves isn't going to hinder your performance. Now, my last tip that I have is that the differences in your voice is what makes you special. Use that to your advantage. Now, I say this because I feel that with people of color, our voices can be very different compared to non-people of color. Sometimes there could be more weight to your voice, there could be more color to your voice. There are so many differences within everyone's voice, and you may be around a lot of people who are more like coloratura sopranos, whose voices are lighter and they move fast and they sing high, and that makes you feel like your voice is not good enough because maybe you're like a mezzo or you're a soprano that has more weight to your voice, so you feel out of the loop, you feel left out. Do not feel that way at all. Your differences in your voice is what's going to put you above the competition. Take your voice and you work it and you make it your own. Point blank period. Make it your own. Don't try to sound like anybody else. Try to sound like yourself, and trust me, it will get easier. So that is all the tips that I have for you all today. If you all enjoyed this video and you want more tips, comment down below and I'll make a part 2. But I really do hope that this video helps you all to feel more confident in your voices, and just because you are getting your degree in classical voice, you don't let that environment change who you are, change your voice. But I just want you to be your authentic self. To close out the video, I just want to, shout out my social media pages, my Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I also do have another YouTube channel where I post fitness and vlogging my life. Like, it can just be random stuff. I just vlog there. So make sure you check out my content there. And yes, I really do appreciate if you watch towards the end. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.